John Locke, the empiricist philosopher, proposed the idea of the tabula rasa, the blank slate. He believed that we are born without built-in mental content and that our knowledge, our personality, and our very soul are written solely by experience. We arrive as nothing. We become something. In 2004, a man named Peter Molyneux promised us a digital version of this philosophy. He promised us a world fable where we could be anything. He told us that if we planted an acorn, we could watch it grow into a tree over real-time years. He told us that our actions would ripple through eternity. Most of those promises were lies. The acorn never grew. The world was limited. But one thing was painfully, beautifully true. The game forced us to answer a question that most of us spend our entire real lives avoiding. If you had the power to do anything, and the only judge was your own reflection, who would you actually become? Today, I want to return to Albion, not to review a game from 2 decades ago, but to explore the terrifying mirror it holds up to our own morality, our obsession with destiny, and the paradox of choice. In the real world, morality is invisible. A man can smile and be a villain. A corrupt CEO wears the same tailored suit as a philanthropist. We rely on intuition to judge character, and often we are wrong. We are masters of the masquerade. But Fable stripped away this luxury. It adopted the logic of Oscar Wilde's novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray. In Wilde's story, Dorian remains beautiful, while his portrait rots, bearing the burden of his sins. In Fable, you are the portrait. The game's alignment system is binary, good versus evil. It seems simplistic at first, but notice how the game represents it. Evil isn't just a stat, it is a physical corruption. It attracts flies. It pales the skin. It makes a world react to you with visceral fear. This implies a philosophical stance. That evil is not just an action, but a disease. It is something that eats the vessel. But here's the darker question. Why did so many of us, given the choice, choose the horns? When I played this as a child, I wanted to be the paladin, the savior. But as I grew older, I found myself drifting toward the darkness. Why? Because being good in Fable, just like in life, is inefficient. Being good requires you to donate your gold. It requires you to spare the bandit who might attack you again. It requires patience. Evil? Evil is fast. Evil pays well. Evil grants you the sword of aeons immediately. The game accidentally teaches us a cynical lesson about capitalism and survival. The path of least resistance is almost always the path of moral compromise. We tell ourselves we are renegades or anti-heroes, but Fable strips away the romanticism. You aren't a rebel. You're just rotting from the inside. And unlike reality, in Albion, you cannot hide it. However, for all its emphasis on choice, Fable is a tragedy of determinism. You are the hero of Oakvale. That is your title. Whether you slaughter every villager in Bowerstone or save every traitor in Darkwood, you are still the hero. You must still defeat Jack of Blades. You must still avenge your family. The destination is fixed. Only the aesthetic of the journey changes. Jean-Paul Sartre spoke of radical freedom, the idea that we are condemned to be free, that we are defined solely by our choices. But Fable presents the opposite, the illusion of volition. Does this feel familiar? We grow up believing we can be anything, but then we encounter the quest markers of society. Go to school, get a degree, find a partner, take out a mortgage, retire, die. We can choose to be a good employee or a bad employee. We can be a kind husband or a neglectful one. But the structure of the narrative, The economic and biological rails we ride upon is rarely within our control. At the end of the game, you are given the ultimate choice. Kill your sister to gain ultimate power, or cast the sword into the void and choose love. This is the only moment the rails disappear, and it is terrifying. Because if you choose power, you are alone. If you choose love, you are weak, mechanically speaking. The game posits that to be truly human, one must reject power. To be a god, one must reject humanity. You cannot have both. And yet, even after this choice, the game continues. You just walk back into the world, either with a heavy soul or a heavy sword. The credits don't roll immediately. You have to live with it. We cannot talk about Fable without talking about the things that are not in the game. Peter Molyneux is infamous for overpromising. He sold us a dream of a living, breathing world where every leaf mattered. What we got was a series of small, linear maps. For years, gamers were angry. We felt betrayed. But there is a strange poetry in this disappointment. Molyneux's hype is a perfect metaphor for our own expectations of adulthood. We spend our youth dreaming of the open world. We imagine unlimited potential. We think we will write a novel, travel to Mars, cure a disease, or find a love that burns like a star. Then, we hit our 20s and our 30s. We realize the map is smaller than we thought. We realize we can't actually do anything. We can only do some things. The acorn doesn't grow into a tree, it just sits there. We settle. We buy the house in Bowerstone South. We marry the NPC who only has 3 lines of dialogue. We engage in the repetitive grind of earning XP or a paycheck. Is the tragedy of Fable that it failed to deliver on its promises? Or is the tragedy that it accurately simulated the feeling of settling that defines the human experience? We learn to find joy in the limitations. We learn to love the small, linear map we were given. The villain of Fable, Jack of Blades, is an entity from the void. He possesses bodies through masks. He is the ultimate actor. He has no true self, only the roles he plays to gain power. As the player, are we any different? We project ourselves into this digital avatar. We wear the mask of the hero. For 20 hours, we are the savior of Albion. And when we turn the console off, we return to being us. Carl Jung spoke of the persona, the mask we wear to interface with society. But he also spoke of the shadow, the dark, repressed desires we hide. Fable is a safe space for the shadow. It is one of the few places where we can explore our capacity for cruelty without hurting anyone real. It is a simulation of our darkest impulses. And perhaps that is healthy. Perhaps by letting the horns grow in Albion, we prevent them from growing in our real lives. Or perhaps it desensitizes us to the transactional nature of morality. The game asks, who are you when no one is watching? But in the age of data, someone is always watching. In the game, the code is watching. The legacy of Fable isn't its combat, which was clunky. It isn't its graphics, which have aged. Its legacy is the feeling it leaves you with. A feeling of whimsical melancholy. A sense that you have lived a lifetime in a few days. You started as a boy, you lost everything, you gained the world, and you ended up as an old veteran, scarred by your choices. We are all heroes of Oakvale. We are all thrust into a world we didn't make, forced to fight battles we didn't choose, chasing promises that might never come true. But we have the pen. We may not control the ending. We all end up in the grave eventually, but we control the character sheet. We decide if we die with a halo or with horns. We decide if we leave the world slightly brighter or slightly darker. And even if it's just a game, even if it's just a simulation, that choice is the only thing that has ever been real.